not to be confused with Pottstown, Pennsylvania. Pottsville is a city in, and the county seat of, Schuylkill County, Pennsylvania, United States. The population was 14,324 at the 2010 census, and is the principal city of the Pottsville, PA Micropolitan Statistical Area. The city lies along the west bank of the Schuylkill River, 97 miles northwest of Philadelphia. It is located in Pennsylvania's coal region. History. Early settlement Charles II granted the land that eventually became Pottsville to William Penn. The grant comprised all lands west and south of the Delaware and the Schuylkill. The site of Pottsville was originally in Chester County. When the Legislative Council, on May 10, 1729, enacted the law erecting Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, which included all the lands of the province lying westward of a straight line drawn northeasterly from the headwaters of Octorara Creek marked with blazed trees, to the Schuylkill River, then this placed Pottsville in Lancaster County. By enactment of the same council, approved on March 11, 1752, Berks County was erected. This placed Pottsville within the limits of that county. Pottsville's anthracite coal history began in 1790 when a coal seam was discovered by hunter Necho Allen. Legend has it that Allen fell asleep at the base of the broad mountain and woke to the sight of a large fire. His campfire had ignited an outcropping of coal. By 1795 an anthracite-fired iron furnace was established on the Schuylkill River. 19th century In 1806 John Potts purchased the furnace. By an Act of Assembly of the Commonwealth approved March 1, 1811, the county of Schuylkill was erected out of portions of Berks and Northampton. This placed the site of Pottsville in Schuylkill County. The town was formally laid out in 1816 by a local surveyor, Henry Donnell. Pottsville was established as a village in Norwegian Township in 1819 and incorporated as a borough on February 19, 1828. In 1829, D.G. Yuengling & Son established the oldest operated family beer brewery in the United States. In 1851 Pottsville became the county seat, the original county seat being Origsburg. The Philadelphia and Reading Coal and Iron Company, which has its roots in the Philadelphia and Reading Railway Company, the remnants of which were acquired in the late 20th century by the Reading Anthracite Company, acquired extensive coal lands and would become one of the most notable of the coal companies operating in Pennsylvania until the demise of the anthracite industry after World War II. Because of its location along the Schuylkill River, Pottsville developed a small textile industry. Out of this industry grew the Phillips Van Heusen Company, which was founded in 1881. Moses Phillips and his wife Endel began sewing shirts by hand and selling them from push carts to the local coal miners. Van Heusen and other textile companies left the region starting in the late 1970s, mainly as a result of foreign competition. Another element of the textile industry was the Tilt Silk Mill on 12th Street, which produced silk from silkworms imported from China which fed on mulberry trees in the building solarium. The silk business eventually was eclipsed by the development of nylon stockings. The building still stands and is presently the headquarters of a storage and vehicle rental business. 20th century During the Prohibition period in the United States, under the 18th Amendment, Yuengling stopped making beer and moved to production of near beer. The three brews produced in this time were the Yuengling Special, Yuengling Pot Or, and finally, the Yuengling Javo, which was a cereal beverage. Then owner Frank Yuengling also opened the Yuengling Dairy, which produced ice cream and other dairy products for the local area. These ventures helped to keep the company afloat during that period. When the 18th Amendment was repealed, Yuengling stopped production of near beer, and resumed making alcoholic beverages. The brewery famously sent a truckload of its winter beer to the White House in 1933 as thanks to President Franklin D. Roosevelt for the repeal of Prohibition. Yuengling still continues its family-owned business today. It is the second largest American-owned brewery, after the Boston Beer Company, producer of Samuel Adams beer. The Yuengling Dairy was operated by a different branch of the family from the brewery. Business declined and the dairy folded as of 1985. Attempted buyouts by large conglomerate breweries have all been unsuccessful. Pottsville was chartered as a third-class city on March 22, 1911. Pottsville was host to a National Football League franchise from 1925 to 1928. The Pottsville Maroons played in Sportsman's Park in nearby Minersville, now the site of Kings Village Shopping Plaza. The Maroons posted some of the best records in the NFL during the 1925 and 1926 seasons. The Maroons had a claim to the 1925 NFL championship, but because of a controversial decision by NFL President Joe Carr, the title was instead awarded to the Chicago Cardinals. The Maroons suffered 2 more losing seasons before relocating to Boston and becoming the Boston Bulldogs. The Bulldogs folded in 1929. Until the middle of the 20th century, Pottsville was a popular destination for many traveling acts and vaudeville performers. The 1929 film Birthmark stars the comedy legends Laurel and Hardy as they attempt to reach Pottsville by train for one of their booked performances. Pearl Bailey had once resided in Pottsville during the early part of her entertaining career. Soldiers in training at nearby Fort Indiantown Gap were prohibited from visiting Pottsville during most of World War II due to the large amounts of illicit venues and activities present during the time. In August 1997, the Pottsville Railway Park Little League All-Star team participated in the Little League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, representing the U.S. East region. In the World Series, they defeated Dyer, Indiana 1-0 in an extra inning game. The following evening they played and lost to Bradenton, Florida at LeMade Stadium before an estimated 35,000 fans, the largest crowd ever to watch a non-championship game. The team played their final game against Mission Viejo, California, losing 3-1 and finished 1 game shy of the United States Championship game. 21st century The city completed in 2007 a streetscaping project on Center Street. In June 2011, the city of Pottsville became the county's transportation hub for STS bus service throughout the county with a $16.1 million Union Station Intermodal Transit Center at 300 West Center Street. It also accommodates Trailways and Greyhound bus services. The Pottsville Downtown Historic District, Cloud Home, John O'Hara House, Bird Patterson House, Pottsville Armory, D.G. Yuengling and Son Brewing Complex, and Frank D. Yuengling Mansion are listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Geography Topography Pottsville is located at 40°41 euro squared 06 euro cubed and 76°12 euro squared 10 euro cubed W. According to the United States Census Bureau, the city has a total area of 4.20 square miles. It is all land. None of the area is covered in water. Although there are no lakes within the city, there are several water courses which flow through the city. The Schuylkill River flows through the extreme southern part of the city near Mount Carbon. The west branch of the Schuylkill River makes up the western border for the city. Within the city itself, the west branch of Norwegian Creek flows through the Fishbach section of the city and the east branch of Norwegian Creek flows through the Jalapa section of the city. Joining together near Progress Avenue and Terry Riley Way, they form Norwegian Creek, which flows underground through the heart of the city. The creek empties into the Schuylkill River at Mauch-Chunk Street. Pottsville sits on 7 hills: Lawtons Hill, Greenwood Hill, Bunker Hill, Guinea Hill, Forest Hills, Cottage Hill and Mount Hope. Climate Pottsville experiences a humid subtropical climate according to the CAR paragraph PPEN climate classification system, or a humid continental climate if the 32°F isotherm is used. The record high was 104°F in 2011, and the record low was a 19°F in 1994. Demographics: as of the census of 2000, there were 15,549 people, 6,399 households, and 3,877 families residing in the city. The population density was 3,697.4 people per square mile. There were 7,343 housing units at an average density of 1,746.1 per square mile. The racial makeup of the city was 95.73% white, 2.26% African American, 0.12% Native American, 0.51% Asian, 0.01% Pacific Islander, 0.53% from other races, and 0.84% from two or more races. Hispanic or Latino of any race were 1.22% of the population. There are 6,399 households, out of which 27.3% have children under the age of 18 living with them, 41.7% were married couples living together, 13.9% had a female householder with no husband present, and 39.4% were non-families. 34.9% of all households were made up of individuals and 17.2% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.29 and the average family size was 2.97. In the city the population was spread out with 22.6% under the age of 18, 7.2% from 18 to 24, 27.2% from 25 to 44, 22.1% from 45 to 64 and 20.9% who were 65 years of age or older. The median age was 40 years. For every 100 females there were 87.3 males. For every 100 females age 18 and over, there were 83.5 males. The median income for a household in the city was $30,137, and the median income for a family was $41,124. Males had a median income of $31,510 versus $21,433 for females. The per capita income for the city was $18,165. About 10.1% of families and 13.9% of the population were below the poverty line, including 15.4% of those under age 18 and 10.1% of those age 65 or over. Cityscape =neighborhoods Center City area consisting of Center Street and Market Street from Garfield Square to Line Street and from Nichols Street to Mauch Chunk Street. Yorkville, located on the west side of the city, west of the Pottsville Area High School and west of 16th Street to the city line. Yorkville was a borough that merged with Pottsville in the early part of the 20th century. Quintown, along W Market Street, south and west of Garfield Square up to 16th Street. Lawtons Hill, east of Route 61, north of E Norwegian Street. Greenwood Hill, east of Route 61, south of E Norwegian Street. The Island, the area surrounding the former site of the Atkins Brothers Furnace. Near Washington Street and Route 61. Jalapa, north of Route 61 and east of Center Street on the north side of town. Fishbach, west of Jalapa, in the area between Center Street and Peacock Street. Russellville, along W Market Street, north and west of Garfield Square up to 16th Street. Forest Hills, a residential development south of Mount Carbon. Forest Hills West, a residential neighborhood south of Mount Carbon and west of Forest Hills. Bunker Hill, south of Mahantungo Street from S 2nd Street to S 11th Street. Murraysville, South Center Street from Mauch Chunk Street to the city line with Mount Carbon Borough. Guinea Hill, a residential neighborhood which extends north of W Arch Street to W Laurel Boulevard and from N 3rd Street westward to N 12th Street. Cottage Hill, north of West End Avenue from N 20th Street to Westward Road. Subdivided into Cottage Hill West and Cottage Hill East. Hillside, Crisona Road from Hotel Street to the city line. York Farm, north of 1st Avenue to Mount Hope Avenue and from N 16th Street west to the city line. Mount Hope, north of Laurel Boulevard to Fairmont Avenue and from N 2nd Street to North 16th Street and Walter Griffith Avenue. Yorktown, east of Westward Road along Wojlan and Yorktown Roads. Parks and recreation areas Rotary Park, located at South 20th and Mahantungo Streets, is one of the largest recreational areas in the city. It includes Pottsville Rotary Little League which can accommodate night games. Also, the park includes a basketball court. There is also playground equipment located on the Norwegian Street side of the park. The park has a fairly large grassy area. The park lacks shade trees. Railway Park, located in the Yorkville section of Pottsville at the end of First Avenue. The park includes the home of Railway Park Little League, the 1997 United States Eastern Region champions of Little League Baseball. General George Julwan Eastside Park, located on East Norwegian Street, the park is built in tiers along the hillside. In the past the park included the East Side swimming pool, but this has been demolished and now is home to a skate park. Basketball courts and playground equipment are also located in the park. Henry Clay Park, located on South 2nd Street, high on the hilltop overlooking the south side of Pottsville, is the Henry Clay Monument. The park is relatively small with no benches or recreational equipment or fields. A larger park was originally planned to be built around it shortly after its construction, but it never materialized. However, the current park is small and quaint and many trees surround which provide a cool spot and a breathtaking view of South Center Street and the Pottsville Hospital and Warren Clinic. John F. Kennedy Memorial Recreation Complex, it is the city's main park. It is an entrance on York Farm Road. It also has a parking lot which can handle moderate amounts of vehicles, 2 basketball courts, 4 tennis courts, and 1 volleyball court, and is home to the JFK Memorial Pool, a community, non-membership pool. It also has a jogging-walking path which connects it to nearby Railway Park. The path has benches in shady, wooded areas. Many people feed the chipmunks and squirrels in the park, which make them not fear humans. You can whistle and they will come. The park also has a fairly large grassy area between the sports courts and the pool. Pets are permitted but must be on a leash. The same rules apply in other city park parcels. Also note that there are no pets permitted in the pool area. The complex is located near the Pottsville Area School District city school parcels. Ewingling Park, located at South 10th and Mahantungo Streets, Ewingling Park is the location of the old spring house which was used for the brewery back in the 19th century. The park is filled with natural fountains, grass, flowers and benches and a large pavilion. The park has no playground facilities but provides a peaceful spot near the hub of the city. Bunker Hill Playground, located between Schuylkill Avenue and Pierce Street. The playground has updated their equipment but is a relaxing area to spend the day with the family. Bearfield Outdoor Recreation Complex, this 3-acre recreation complex is located at the corner of North Center Street and Terry Riley Way in Pottsville. It features a full-size basketball court, horseshoe pits, putting green, and a sand volleyball court. Use of this facility is free to the public. There are many other playgrounds located through the city, including 17th Street Playground, 12th Street Playground, 11th and Arch Street Playground, Race Street Playground, Peacock Street Playground, Jalapa Playground, Fairview Street Playground, Main Street Playground, Greenwood Hill Playground, and Forest Hills Playground. Suburbs. Points of interest. The city of Pottsville has many points of interest, including Schuylkill County Courthouse, N 2nd Street and W. Laurel Boulevard, Henry Clay Monument, South 2nd Street, Garfield Square Monuments, N 5th and W. Market Streets, D.G. Yingling and Son Brewery, S 5th and Mahantungo Streets, Jerry's Classic Cars Museum, S Center Street near Morch Chung Street. Schuylkill County Historical Society, N Center Street and W. Ray Street, Jewish Museum of Eastern Pennsylvania, 2501 West End Avenue, Garfield Diner, and 4th and W. Market Streets at Garfield Square, General George Julwan Monument, North Center Street, Veterans Memorial Stadium, N 16th and Elk Avenue. John O'Hara Monument, S Center Street and W. Howard Avenue, John O'Hara House, 606 Mahantungo Street, Veterans Memorial, General George Julwan Park, E. Norwegian and Anderson Streets, Pottsville Skate Park, E. Norwegian and Anderson Streets. JFK Memorial Pool, York Farm Road at High Park Manor. Sovereign Majestic Theatre, N Center Street, World War I Monument, W. Arch and N 11th Streets. Sports. Pottsville fielded a team in the National Football League between 1925 and 1929 called the Pottsville Maroons. Pottsville also has 2 leagues associated with Little League Baseball, Pottsville Little League, and Railway Park Little League. Railway Park was the U.S. Eastern Regional representative in the 1997 Little League World Series. The Pottsville Crimson Tide football team is one of the oldest prep football programs in the country. At the end of the 2007 football season, Pottsville had played 1137 games, which tied them for first in the nation among prep games played. Pottsville once hosted a home game for the New York Giants. Fire Department. Pottsville's fire department is mostly volunteer. The only non-volunteer positions are the fire chief and 4 assistant chiefs. The following is a list of fire companies in the city. Good Intent Fire Company No. 1 S 2nd and W Division Streets Phoenix Fire Company. No. 2 E Norwegian and Line Streets. Humane Fire Company. No. 1 N 3rd Street and W Laurel Boulevard. Goodwill Fire Company. No. 4 Nichols Street and Terry Riley Way www.goodwill40.com, West End Hose Company. No. 7 N 12th and W Market St. Yorkville Hose Company N 20th and W Norwegian Streets www.yorkvillahose.com, American Hose Company. No. 2S 4th and W Norwegian Streets Media, The Republican and Herald is the only local daily newspaper serving Pottsville. There are also 3 radio stations broadcasting from Pottsville. WAVT FM 101.9 Fathom, WPAM 1450 AM, WPPA 1360 AM. The area is also served by local television stations from the Scranton Wilkes-Barre area. They include WNEP TV 16, WIOU TV 22, WBRE TV 28, WVIA TV 44 and Wolf TV 56. Communications. Dial telephone service came to Pottsville on August 30, 1956 with Mayor George Hefner making the first call on the new Market II exchange, which still exists. Since then 5 exchanges have been added to serve the city. Transportation. Pottsville is served by a small general aviation airport, Schuylkill County Airport. Since 2011 intercity public bus service has been provided at the Union Station Intermodal Transportation Center at 300 South Center Street. Mass transit for the greater Pottsville area is provided by Schuylkill Transportation System, which operates intercity bus services throughout the county. The Intermodal Center also accommodates Greyhound and Trailways. 2 major highways converge on Pottsville, PA Route 61 and US Route 209. Passenger train service between Pottsville, Reading and Philadelphia was operated by Conrail under the auspices of SEPTA until July 29, 1981. The station site has since been demolished and replaced with a parking lot. Healthcare. Schuylkill Regional Medical Center is a non-profit affiliation between 2 community hospitals formerly known as Good Samaritan Regional Medical Center and the Pottsville Hospital and Warren Clinic, both of which are located in Pottsville. On August 1, 2008, Schuylkill Health became the new parent organization for both facilities and their related health systems. The medical center is designated a Level 3 trauma center by the Pennsylvania Trauma Systems Foundation. Street grid. Norwegian Street divides north and south in the city. Center Street divides east and west. Since the city is built on steep hills, the street layout is more complex. Notable people. Public and private education. Pottsville Area School District, which includes Pottsville Area High School, DHH Lengel Middle School, and John S. Clark Elementary Center. Nativity BVM High School, part of the Roman Catholic Diocese of Allentown Education System. Gillingham Charter School, Assumption BVM, part of the Roman Catholic Diocese of Allentown Education System. Colleges and universities. McCann School of Business and Technology, Penn State Schuylkill, located in nearby Schuylkill Haven, Pennsylvania, Alvernia University Schuylkill Satellite Campus. Religious facilities. See also, Pottsville Formation, a geological stratum named for the town. References. External links. City of Pottsville official website, Pottsville Area Development Corporation, visitor information for Pottsville, Pennsylvania, Pottsville Area High School, Crimson Tide Football.